Hello, this is a quick tutorial on how to convert between fractions and decimals. We're also going to convert to percents. Before we get started, we'll just talk about why we're doing this. Oftentimes it's useful to be able to use different versions of a number. Let's say you wanted to draw a picture of something. It may be easier to have it as a fraction to compare two numbers. It's nice to have a decimal. But a lot of times in the real world we see percents. I like to think of it kind of like if you have a simple thing to do, which is screw in a screw, sometimes you need a different tool. That's a screwdriver, but other times that is not exactly the perfect tool. You might need a different type of screwdriver to do the job. So we're going to look at how to turn a fraction into a decimal.
Good morning, teachers.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at how to turn a fraction to a decimal and into a percent. Okay, a really helpful diagram I like to use is thinking of it as a triangle and moving between the different things requires different skills. So let's start with from a fraction to a decimal. We'll use a simple number to start with. Let's say we've got 3/4. Okay. To be able to go from 3/4 to its decimal equivalent, the tool we need is to divide. Okay, so we're going to use that acronym TIVO to remember what the setup looks like. Here is the house here. The top number goes in, the bottom number goes out. So now I'm trying to put 4 into 3. The only way that's going to work is if I use a decimal to try to put 4 into 30. Let me move my decimal straight up there, because 4 won't go into 3. 4 goes into 30 7 times, gives me 28. I subtract, I'm ready to find out what's left over. I have a remainder of 2, but I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go ahead and go to the second decimal. And since I'm running a little tight on space, 4 goes into 25 times, and hopefully we remember that 3/4 as a fraction is 75 hundredths as a decimal. Okay, just like 3/4 are worth 75 cents, that's what we have as a decimal. So the first step here that we need to be able to go from a fraction to a decimal to percent is to be able to divide. We'll use a little easier math for the second step, going from a decimal to a percent. The key thing to remember about a percent is a percent means, I'll write this over here, out of 100. That's what the word percent means. And so if we can remember that, it becomes a lot easier to take 75 hundredths, in the hundredths place there, and then we just take that value, and since it's already hundredths out of 100, it is standing in for the percent. And so what we do is we take that decimal place and we move it over 2 times to the right, and 75 hundredths is 75%. Yeah, space there. Okay, so pretty easy. If it's already in hundredths, it's just whatever that number is. 75 hundredths is 75%. If it's more than hundredths, let's say it's 751 thousandths, it's still moving the decimal 2 times to the right. Okay. Last step here, and this is one we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on for this video. But we are going to talk about it because it's an important step, going from a percent to a fraction. So again, remembering that percent means out of 100, well, that's really useful if I just express that out of as my fraction bar. So in this case I have 75, and since percent means out of 100, I'm just going to replace that with this one. So 75 out of 100. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is simplify. Okay, look for common factors that I can simplify these numbers so that they have the same ratio, but they're actually smaller quantities. So I'm going to notice that I can divide both these by 25. 25 will go into 75, 25 will go into 100. And since 25 goes into 75 3 times, and 25 goes into 100 4 times, I've now reduced back to my original fraction, 3/4, which is good because we should have seen that coming. So 3/4 is the same as 75 hundredths, which is the same as 75%. Okay? If you're having trouble, try watching it again from the beginning and see if anything else helps. Thank you.